So again, when you take the normal cavity back or the muscle back clubs, there really is just a golfer there. He's not necessarily looking for a lot of forgiveness. It's more the workability and the playability of the club that they want. It's a real classic traditional shape. That golfer really does have a specific look he wants to see when he's addressing the ball. So we didn't want to change that in terms of the overall look and performance of the club, but what we did feel with the introduction and how we're using tungsten a lot more, that there was the option to not lose that workability, but give him a bit more forgiveness in terms of the overall performance, okay? So again, the big change for us is we're now introducing tungsten into the head of the CB. So as you can see, we're going to use the exact same process as we have with the AP2, and we've co-forged the head. So again, we do the first initial hit to get the general shape of the club. Yep. We then put the tungsten weights in, which have been shaped to fit that exact area of the positioning of the head. And then we hit it again, so it basically molds together to be one piece, okay? And that's really allowed us to get a higher MOI. So in theory now, these are going to perform roughly the same forgiveness as our current generation of AP2. So, you know, again, increase the MOI massively on that club. We've gone from 0 tungsten to now 55 grams of tungsten, which again is similar to the new AP2, where it's going to be 22% of the head weight. But again, that will only be in the 3 to 7 iron because of the reason we said earlier. We've pre-worn the leading edge, and to be fair, I didn't say that on AP2, but we've done that as well. So just, if anything, we would find with some of our tour players that they would shave the front of the club just to get it like it would look a little bit pre-worn, to stop that potential flyer where the club will dig into the ground and just effectively give it a bit more loft, and then give you an inconsistent flight or distance that you didn't necessarily want. So yeah, and I think, I mean, it does. It would be interesting when you hit it. It's the performance and the benefits that you can see with that, it's but still delivering the same.
One product has the more that's the most confusing, because if you want a blade, you want a blade. If you want forgiveness, there's the AP2.
Correct.
It's almost the hardest one.
And that's what we saw. We saw a lot of in the last 2 generations, there was a lot of the CB guys would move into AP2. So, you know, we don't see any of the AP2 guys moving into this now because it's a bit more forgiving. I think once you've made that switch to AP2, realistically, we don't see anybody kind of coming back into these models. But I think for that guy, and this is probably when you'll see a lot more of maybe the bit of a combo set. So they might go with CB in the longer irons and then down into a blade in the shorter irons to give them a bit more of that control that they want. Whatever you want and then whatever you feel is the best makeup for your own set, we need to be able to give you that. So that's where we've got all these different options and all the head types that can fit into those brackets for you.
Quite a different look and hopefully a different kind of feel to what like AP2 should be for you. A bit more looks-wise close to what you're currently using?
Yeah, even with forged irons there's a different feel.
Sure, yeah.
But they feel really solid, they feel really good.
Okay, good. So let's look at these here. So I mean, just a hair left. I mean, what you've hit one which has gone miles. Launch angle a little bit higher there, 23.6 versus say the AP1 at 20 and an AP2 at 20. Height-wise, it has obviously gone a little bit higher than both of those. Carry distance, I mean, what is interesting is, you know, that they're now 142. You know, it's very similar maybe in terms of that AP1 kind of average, but what I would say you've got that one on there which has gone a long way. It'd be interesting to kind of get you hitting in with the right shaft and the right line angle, the right length, kind of see how consistent we can make that club for you. But looks-wise, a lot more.
Looks-wise, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even compared to the the AP2, there's a little bit less offset and there's a little bit softer heel in here.
Sure. So aesthetically, it's a bit more appealing to your eye.
So this is the Titleist CB 716 CB. Of the Titleist iron range, it's probably the one that is the hardest to place, because this new model is almost as forgiving as last year's AP2, and on the range it's probably the club I was hitting best. But I think where it's got a little bit of tungsten in compared to previous models, I think realistically though, this is for better players than me. I think you need to be a slightly low handicap to consistently use this. but it's probably the one I want to play out of the 4. Well, I want to play the Blades, but let's forget about that.
Yeah, I was looking you up online actually. You used to be a bit of a bad boy, didn't you?
Yeah, we did have a bit of fun at times, yes we did.
What did you used to get up to? Come on, you can tell me, I'm only a puppet.
Well, you gotta promise me you keep your mouth shut.
I'll keep your mouth shut.
Alright.